Hey, it's me, Big P. I wanted to do a quick snapshot of my Crackling Lance Totems build as we are about to kill Katava. Just gonna take a look here, mouse over all my items and the skill gems real quick so you can take a look there. I will also upload the POB of how this is currently. Long story short, it's been pretty smooth. A little bit between, I just did the played about half an hour of AFK time, so between 7 to 8 hours to kill Katava is not the quickest I've ever done. I'll go over the gear progression, but this is basically start bullshit. You know the deal. Basically stringing everything together to put together the Crackling Lens Totems, which has, after putting a bit of gem levels and figuring out, how to scale it a bit more, has been pretty nice, especially for bossing. Let's take a look. I will start the video here, though, by saying flashing lights, warning, seizure warning. I'm going to unironically be wearing sunglasses while playing this build, and you will see why. It's kind of like the sniper's mark. It doesn't seem that bad when you're moving and mapping, but when you're in like a tighter boss arena, it's certainly noticeable. And I can only imagine it will be responsible for some amounts of visual clarity, or rather visual clutter during some of the more hectic boss fights, but we'll get there when we get there. I think generally speaking, the name of the game is going to be get enough damage so that you're one-shotting anything that's normal or magic during a map. And then, as something that will be really, honestly, a softcore boss, or the totem playstyle kind of really lends itself to bossing in a way that is just like, all right, I put my totems down and hope that they can kill everything and deal with it. The playstyle, it's definitely going to be the sort of build that clears on some maps better than others. As you can see, I mean, the targeting, while great on Crackling Lance, it's going to be hard to see examples of this. It can feel a little ineffectual when there's like a lot of rare monsters, or like a couple that it's like shooting between. Sometimes I really wish that there would be a way to focus fire on them, because the AoE itself, while, chunky enough to help with clear, it's not completely obliterating packs, and there could be a little awkwardness. It's like a Counter-Strike ray check, you know what I mean? Like, there is a line of damage being done, and while it's feeling great, especially now that I'm getting some gem levels and stuff like that, there's definitely, I kind of wish I could fit like a Herald of Ice in here or something like that, or I could use Impulsos. I don't think you can, because it doesn't count as enemies you kill, it counts as your totems killing the enemies, so you wouldn't get the explodies. I am self-casting Conductivity right now, just because it's faster than having an Arcanist brand set up. I don't think our Wave of Conviction works when you have, whatchamacallit, Ancestral Bonds. If anybody can confirm that for me, please let me know. Because I've just kind of taken it out, and it is very noticeable when you get one of the rares with like lightning resistance or something like that, unfortunately. So I am hoping to get some upgrades. I did just want to take a snapshot of the build as a bit of leveling kind of framework, I guess, but like, you're gonna have to also, ooh, I did want to mention the league mechanic here. Let's actually do it for this last section here. I have been completely skipping it, at least in terms of like studying specifically for this, because I'm not going to bother with this until mapping. They can be pretty tough though. Like, you'll notice a notable example for me, I don't know if you guys have had the same thing where you've had to reset a zone or two. I haven't really had to do that. I've been kind of trying to zoom through as fast as I can to get to the good stuff, as usual, but the campaigns had a lot of interesting little changes and things like that that have made me kind of take my time, not to mention the fact that I was experimenting with like some different setups and kind of swap between. I'll show you my earlier gear just to go over in more detail the progression, because we really don't have a great weapon right now to be scaling damage. It's really mostly gem levels that's scaling it. You see it's +1 socketed lightning gems. It's the only thing that matters on that. So we definitely have a lot of room to grow in terms of damage, and that's really where we want to focus. I am Mind Over Matter and running a Zealotry as my Eternal Blessing. Definitely wanted to crit a little early, but I don't really mind. We're only at like not even 25% crit chance, but it's still feeling pretty decent on the damage, and as we push it, I think it should be okay. So here's the Kitava kill. Let's take a look and see. So the rotation, we do have an Arcane Cloak that procs our Arcane Surge with increased duration. And totems can take a bit of hits. You are going to want to watch in the corner there how many of your totems you actually have up. Will greatly affect your ability to, well, do damage. It's very possible all your totems die, or they're too far off screen to be shocking the stuff they need to be shocking. But as far as a playstyle for a boss, I mean, just kind of standing still. On the harder bosses that you're not like auto-phasing, you're gonna have to run around. But it's coming together. I'm liking it so far. I'm hoping that Atlas progression will be smooth. I am going to stream as much as I can today to kind of just go over in detail if you wanted to replicate the progression. But I'm not sure if if totems are going to end up being the play. They're pretty interesting right now, and I'm enjoying it. But well, it remains to be seen. Oh shit! I don't know. I can see there's some visual clarity already. Kind of like I couldn't really see those. You know, when the red circles on the floor are dodging, it can get a little messy. And as you can see here, the visual, I'll do it right on top of me here so that you can really get to see. It's like a bunch of lasers shooting in that direction. Okay, so you do get to see the kind of the effective range of some of the totems. You don't want to constantly be replacing them. I'll show you right here. If you're constantly replacing them with enough totem placement speed, they won't have enough time to activate and cast. So you kind of do want to set and forget. Then cast your curse, run around and dodge the stuff and things like that. Again, playstyle is not going to be for everybody, but it's specifically going to be a bosser. So we will see how we end up scaling this. There's a lot of options. Mana, I have decided, is not going to be a critical part of either defense or offense, just something nice to throw on top. The Arcane Cloak buff is nice for sure. And just because, you know, we're almost at 2k mana with no actual gear. I just don't want to be fighting with the Archmage guys for, you know, have ability to scale damage. We're just going to do it in other ways. As a self-cast, you definitely have to invest in that mana gear if Archmage is one of your damage links. Otherwise, it's just not going to be that great. Whereas us, we're really just going to be scaling. The big ones are cast speed and gem levels, I think. Flat damage is also very nice because of the 300% effectiveness of added damage. And yeah, it's a pretty chill playstyle if you can get it, you know, if you can work around it and understand how to keep your damage up and effective. You can kind of see the mishmash of like, okay, sometimes it's hitting the stuff because it's aiming at stuff behind it. It's pretty fucking crazy. I am enjoying it so far, I will say. And I'm interesting to see how it will go into maps. How my first 2 Watchstones are going to go. I'm hoping to have that done by the end of today so that we can really get into some more like endgame farming strats. I think this will be better at farming stuff like destructive play and other things like that. You know, not really the major juicer one, but this will make enough currency to build a juicer mapper on a pretty shoestring budget. We will see. I am going to start. I did want to take the video now before I start purchasing like Soul Mantle, a Kikazaru, and like a Singularity or 2. I might get a shield or something like that just to stay defensive. But honestly, I think this might be the best defenses, the best, yeah, offense. I want to one-shot shit with my lasers, okay? I want to make it seem like it's an actual laser beam disintegrating shit. Did I get all my passives? I think we did get all 3. Oh no, I missed a couple here. Queen of the Sands and Ruler of Highgate. Oh yeah, okay. So that wasn't even with all my passives. Or Maroon Banner. Okay. But I did get the 3rd lab. Quick note on the lab. I mean, here's a look at the tree. I am going to upload it right now. In my initial tree, I did think I was going to go for Arcane Blessing, but on retrospect, it's actually kind of a waste, I think, because you can just get the Arcane Surge buff from here in that last 7 seconds. We are popping this Arcane Cloak pretty frequently, and so while you would have 100% uptime on the Arcane Blessing here, pretty much, I do think that Divine Guidance is overall going to be better. For both offense and defense. It's going to scale our current. Maybe we might switch out of it later and go for that Arcane Surge if I really don't feel like, you know, if I have another rotation that this is just being too annoying to do. But it's a little bit of extra mind over matter. And Transfiguration of Mind is actually boosting damage a decent bit. Now, you are going to want a little bit more damage, a little bit more oomph if you don't give yourself the gem levels. Let me go back right quick to show you the earlier staff that I dropped. So, Spoilers for Act 1. There's a Legion in Act 1 in, I forget what area it's called, the Climb or something, by the Lion Eyes thing, which is pretty awesome. I did take the 30 seconds to break out the one rare mob that had the thing over its head to get, where's my staff here? Put it somewhere. Here it is. This end game gear that dropped for me. Because I picked up lightning tendrils because I'm like, oh, let's try it. I don't level with that. That's not what you want to level with. Don't pick lightning tendrils. A +2 with cat speed, spell damage, crit multi, and flat lightning damage to spells dropped in Act 1 for me. So the first 4 or 5 acts were carried by this thing. I went directly into Rolling Magma and Holy Flame Totem. So yeah, keep an eye out for your plus level of spell skill gems there. And shouts to GGG for making the campaign a little bit more interesting and dropping this raid boss loot for me here. And then nothing else really notable happened in terms of gearing. I don't think, you know, we are all on rares. This was a 4-link staff that dropped +1 to socket lightning gems while I was looking for sockets to put my totems in. That's the only reason it exists right now. I'm pretty much immediately going to get rid of this. And if not, get a 5-link here. This is a pretty okay chess piece right now. And I did just get, I mean, we'll be close enough, I think. But you know, we're in the point where the gear's kind of gonna start to take shape, and we'll see what I can fit in and what we'll have to skip out. So yeah, thank you for watching. I will continue to post update videos. I do think today is going to be a lot of progress, so we will get closer. We'll probably have Uber Lab and 2 Watchstones done by the end of today, hopefully. So next time you see the video, you'll see a much more complete picture of what you can aim for. If I forget anything or you have any questions, leave them in the comments and come by the stream and say hey. I hate a Fig too. Well, Fig's not on the screen, but my cat's here too. I hope you're enjoying Necropolis League so far. It looks very promising. Like I said, I have been ignoring it, but you kind of can't ignore it in this league. It is a challenge league, and it's definitely brought some challenge, so I'm excited to see. Let me know what you're doing, what you're enjoying. If you have any cool things, cool tech you think I should bring up in this build, because I do have a lot of free sockets, not a lot of socket pressure. And yeah, thank you. Take it easy.